right, and we are back, my friends. Let me just wait for Vivi to come in, and we're about to go in. 1 second, guys. Let me write the topic. This is a good one, guys. I can feel it. This is going to be a really, really good one, man. Yeah, I got some balloons back here. There was a party yesterday for my sister's graduation. So it's not fully cleaned up, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, my God. What a beautiful day over here in Chicago, man. Beautiful fucking day. Man. Here we go. Oh, hey, Jen. What's up, buddy? Just waiting for Vivi to hop on. There we go. Let's get this party started. What's up, Eleanor? All right.
Hello. Sorry
There
for the
she
delay.
is.
I've been having some Instagram technical problems, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, baby.
Yeah. Instagram is failing me. Hello, Jen. Hello, Eleanor. How are you today?
Every day is the best day of my life, Vivi.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Every day, buddy.
Let me. All right.
Mic check.
Yeah. Last
Are
check.
you ready to go in, Vivi?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay, so ways to release your trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think is a good starting point for this, Vivi?
All right. So what is, well, in England they say trauma. In the US you say trauma. So just to be on the safe side, I would be calling it trauma. Anyway, so what is trauma?
Oh.
Is it just the negative experience, or is it something more? That's a big question, all right? So when an experience is called traumatic and not just negative. So every experience differs in severity, okay? Some experiences can be very, very hard, and you may have some physical symptoms, you may have really intense emotions, and some others can be just, negative experiences. You just feel bad about something, and then you're feeling absolutely fine, all right? Just to make this distinction about what is a negative experience or what is a trauma. And trauma can affect you, can affect your whole life, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You can base all your experiences, your decisions, everything you do on a traumatic experience.
Very much so, baby.
Good. That's good to clarify that.
There you have it, guys. There you have it, man. By the way, if you have any traumatic experiences you would like to share, leave them in the comments, bro. We'll talk about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vivi, guys, with my experience with trauma, it'll fuck you up, bro. It will fuck you
big time
up. Yes. And like you said, for years, because based off that one event, that one situation, you make decisions that can build you or destroy you the rest of your life, man.
Can I say something here? Sorry, just to interrupt. It can be just one experience, one traumatic event, but it can you can have like a series of traumatic events, all right?
Definitely.
It's like not just an episode, but many of them.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes you can have severe symptoms like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and there is something else that is called complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder is related to a series of traumatic events, okay? It's more developmental trauma. This is how we call it.
So what do you recommend?
more technical stuff.
I love that detail. I love the details, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend, Vivi, if there's somebody trying to release a trauma right now and they don't know how to, bro?
All right. What I do is e.t.c. Okay, it stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques.
Mm-hmm.
What we do in EFT, we just tap on different points, on meridian points, this is how we call them, and we have the client or someone to experience these emotions. The more you tap, the intensity of the emotion becomes less and less and less, to the point at the end you don't feel anything. So what is happening? Okay, when you have a traumatic experience, okay, all the memories you have about that experience are being stored in a different part of the brain. Okay, this is the way of the brain to cope with all this trauma. So when you tap, all right, these tapping points are connected to the place of in that place of your brain where all these traumatic memories are stored.
Yeah.
So you go straight in when you tap, and this is one way to do it. There are many ways. All right, there are so many different modalities.
Mm-hmm.
You can use hypnosis, for example. Right, you revisit again the traumatic experience. You can use lots of different things. You can use exercise, all right? If you
Oh
have
yeah.
like physical trauma stored in your body, this is a very good way to release it. Reiki, you can use massage. You can use, I don't remember now, I forgot. It will come to me.
It'll come.
Okay, so I forgot it. Yeah, energy therapy. You can write as
Right.
well, but it's very important to use pen and paper. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's different when you use your computer, right? When you
Very.
hold the pen, you are able to use the pen as a vessel to express your emotions. And imagine that when you are angry, you are pushing the pen more, so you're expressing your emotions in totally different way. So
Very
these are
powerful.
some ways. Yeah.
You can see, guys, there's a variety of ways to release it, man. Again, we're all it's all individualized on what you
Exactly.
feel right works best for you.
Hmm.
But yeah, something about writing it out is so empowering, bro, and it's a fast and natural way to release that trauma, man, and it works. It works, bro. Um, but yes, for me, exercise was a big way to release it, guys. So, but it was only after I changed the intention because I used to work out to avoid the trauma, right? To escape from the
Exactly.
trauma. But once I changed my intention that it's a way to release it, meaning that while I was working out, I was thinking about it. I was asking questions like, why? Why did I go through this, right? I was extracting the lessons rather than swimming in the pain of the experience, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
you have to extract the lessons because there's always going to be multiple lessons in your trauma,
Hmm.
and until you get them, it's going to be like a fucking loop. It's going to be on repeat, right? You're going to keep going through the same shit over and over again because
Hmm.
you refuse, or maybe you might just not even know how or what lessons are there, but you have to be able to get those lessons out of the trauma so you can move on, bro. It's like a video game, man, right?
Hmm.
But
Absolutely. Yeah, you need to stay with the pain, because what most people do, we all do that actually. The moment that we start feeling this painful emotion, this negative emotion, we want to distract ourselves straight away. We're gonna do something, gonna eat something, gonna drink. We are going to, I don't know, go on our computers and do something. So if you stay with that emotion, no matter how painful it is, then you'll be able to feel more comfortable about being with negative emotions, all right, first of all. And secondly, you will be able to understand why this is happening, okay?
exactly.
And this is something I've been saying again and again, that it's easier to process an emotion whereas it is up to the surface, okay? Sometimes in therapy we're trying to remember what happened, but when you have this intense feeling, it's totally different to use all these techniques in order to release it. It's
There we
easier.
go. Yep,
Hmm.
exactly.
You
And
want to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
oh
Your
man,
turn.
every time, bro.
Yeah, it's fine.
And personally, from trying both, hypnosis and EFT, working with Vivi, working with Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they are both so powerful in their own ways, man. And they, at the end of the day, they both get the job done, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both get to the root of the emotion. They both ask the right questions. You go back into the memory, and you get it handled, bro. So I would strongly recommend both. Again, me just working with Vivi, working with Eleanor, was oh shit.
It's
um,
okay.
that was a pop. Balloon just popped.
Oh,
That's
you're
crazy.
safe. Are you
Yeah,
safe?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. We don't want to lose you.
Oh man,
Yes.
life at its finest, guys. Life at its finest. But yeah, I would strongly recommend both guys. If you can do hypnotherapy, working with a hypnotist and an EFT practitioner, that will help you with whatever you're going through tremendously, man, tremendously.
Hmm.
And I know Crystal says I can relate with that. I think she's referring about the exercising. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that
That was a
was a sign.
sign. Am I gonna get popped, bro? What's gonna happen?
Oh, that's
Uh,
a good sign, though.
I'm releasing the trauma, bro. I popped the balloon.
Well, I'm gonna. I had this traumatic. I relived the traumatic experience yesterday. I just want to share that because it
Yeah,
was
dude,
really
do it.
painful. All right, so I just had to visit my family. So we had to take a decision about something. So I went to the bus station. All right, and I was waiting for the bus. I missed the bus. All right, and then the next bus was in after 1 hour. So I spent 1 hour thinking, but thinking hard. I didn't try to use my phone. I didn't try to use my iPod because I'm still using an iPod. I did nothing of that. I just stayed with very painful emotions because I've started feeling extreme anxiety. I couldn't breathe, you know, and I was like, yes, this is something. What does it mean? Why am I feeling like that? Why? And then that thought came to me. It's that the thought was because I'm afraid to ask. I wanted to ask for something, so I'm afraid to ask. I was like, this is not, you know, this is where is it coming from? And then I've realized that this is coming from my childhood. All right. The moment I made the connection and between the childhood experience and the present moment, I felt better because I've realized that what I was feeling was a flashback. It was
Wow.
a flashback of my painful experience, of my traumatic experience. The moment I made the connection, something shifted inside me. And I was like, it
Yeah.
was just a flashback. It was nothing else, just a flashback.
Yeah.
I can do that now. I can, you know, turn it around. And I got on the bus and I was thinking, you know, I'm an adult. I know how to deal with these things. Whatever happens, I'll be fine. And everything changed, you know, but that was a flashback. And we have
Exactly.
this tendency to reenact our traumas again and again and again, reliving the same trauma until we release it. Or we put ourselves in situations where they're very, very similar to the first event, to the traumatic event. All right. And I think it's a good way not to avoid these kind of situations. I think we need to go through these situations, go to these places where we felt the trauma, provided that you can do that because it's not easy
Right.
for everyone. Okay, some people, you need to have some assistance with these things, therapist, someone to guide you how to do it. It's not easy. All right, I'm just saying that someone who has done all this work and feel comfortable to go back to the place where the trauma occurred. All right, so you go back there, you feel the emotions because all these emotions are connected to that place. Okay?
Yep.
The moment you feel the emotions, you just use all these techniques and you release it. And that works. That works miracles.
It really does, bro.
Hmm.
That's that 10-second miracle, man.
Yeah.
But again, just putting in that work though, Vivi. Can't stress that enough. Like you have to
Yes.
be willing to go in and keep asking those painful questions. Why, man? And not playing yourself as the victim, right? Not just saying that and like, well, I can't change it. I guess it's me the rest of my life.
Hmm.
You know, like you can't do that. Don't play yourself. Don't play yourself like that, man. I'm telling you, bro, when, Vivi, after I left the studio, that was a very traumatic, I was a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
After I left the studio, that was a very traumatic time for me, right? And again, losing everything, everything again in the physical world, and what you thought was your purpose, your life mission,
Mm-hmm.
you're fucking broken, bro. And you're asking yourself those questions. Yeah, I didn't have a choice either. I was by myself even after that. My parents are working, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, why? Why the fuck did I like angry? Angry,
Mm.
bro.
Of
Why
course.
did I
Yeah.
spend a whole year making my dream a reality just to fucking lose it, right? Just to get it stripped away from me, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how I felt. But in all reality, once I started asking the right questions, because questions build focus and focus builds solutions,
Exactly.
that's when the thoughts started coming in. Okay, I lost my partner to realize that I can rely on myself, that I can lead
Mm-hmm.
myself, that I don't need to have this level of codependency on someone,
Mm-hmm.
because I did. Again, I believed in him more than I believed in myself, and it should
Mm-hmm.
never be like that, guys. Never. So once you go through this trauma, you start to analyze the trauma and everything that happened, all the dark moments. Every single time that you felt like you couldn't go on, or you felt like why is this happening to me? When you start to look back and look into those memories, you start to realize why everything happened the way it did, and now you start to be able to take that first step in releasing the trauma, bro.
Absolutely. It's this decision you have to take. Okay, you have to
Yes, it
take this
is.
decision to face the trauma. Don't avoid it. Full on.
Right?
You have to because more or less we know that something is not right. We know that we are behaving in a strange way, let's say, or in a negative way. We all know that in
Yep.
some extent. All
We're
right.
aware. Yes, we're aware.
Okay, we are aware of that. So you just go in and see what is happening. Why are you feeling like that? When did it start? It's not a coincidence that it started now, for example. Let's say that I want to leave the place I live, all right? And I want to move out somewhere else. I want to live in a different country. I'm absolutely sure that all the painful experiences I have about living safety and comfort will come through, all the fears, everything. So what do? You don't go, you just stay where you are. No, you just face all these fears and then you
Jump.
go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
Damn, that's powerful,
Exactly.
bro. It's powerful, man. And it's so true, because so many people stay stuck in their life because of that, because they're not willing to face the fears. They're not willing to take that fucking leap. So they live their life on replay, going through the same shit over and over again, facing the same fears over and over again, because they just, one, for one, they don't know how to overcome
Yeah.
them, or
Hmm.
two, they refuse to change. They refuse to change, man. And it's fucked up, but it is what it is, bro.
It is. And when you think that, oh, if I'm going to change, who I'm going to become, what I'm going to become. So it's kind of, scary.
Mhm.
It's a
Oh
scary
yeah.
thought. And many people don't know. I mean, they will say, oh, this is bullshit. I just had like a very, difficult time. No, it's not a difficult time. Actually, you had a traumatic time and you need to do something about it. But you cannot really convince someone or push them to have therapy or to ask for help. Some people need to crash down, they need to
Yeah.
collapse
Yep.
and in order to ask for help. And sometimes I do say that, let them crash. Sorry to say that, but they're not gonna die. They're gonna
Yeah.
rebirth. They're gonna have a rebirth. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna birth. They're gonna be born again in totally different. They're gonna be
Yeah.
totally different people.
Whole new version, bro.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yes, it is traumatic, but it can happen. It can happen definitely.
Something also that helped me tremendously, guys. Vivi,
Hmm.
when I was an alcoholic, what helped me stop drinking too was realizing my purpose. Because when
Mm.
I started on that journey of fulfilling my purpose of being an influencer, I started releasing trauma without even knowing it, because as I began and I took that first step, right, situations started to present themselves where I had the opportunity to release traumas I didn't even know I had.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's something else that you can use, like when you're living with purpose, when you're trying to fulfill your life's mission, you're gonna just automatically be be able to release trauma because you're gonna be more aware now. You're gonna be at a whole other level of consciousness, and you're gonna have opportunities to release the trauma because you're gonna have no way out, bro. Right? It's gonna present
Yeah,
themselves
exactly.
before you, and you're gonna have to face it, bro.
Hmm. Imagine if you're drinking because you're feeling empty inside, all right? And this void, this emptiness makes you drink. So the moment you have a purpose in life, you have a mission, you know that you want to do something, then you don't need to use alcohol or whatever else you'll be using in order to feel better and, fill this void. So, yeah, it's part
That's
of the...
Maybe that's exactly what happened with me, bro. That's what I was.
Mhm,
That's why I was drinking. I had no purpose, bro. I had
mhm,
no sense of direction. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And like you said, there was a void that I was feeling, and on top of all the pain that I was going through from getting cheated on, from again all
mhm,
the shit that life threw at me at that time. Or I don't like using that term, that life threw at me, but
mhm,
you know what I mean, bro. Like the shit that I was in at that time. It
mhm.
again, because you're always in control of your reality, bro. You can change it once you make that decision, and not maybe instantly, but you can start that process of changing shit, bro.
Mhm, mhm.
But
And then you need to, well, I have had some cases, all right? I can see some people are starting therapy and then they stop.
yeah,
This is not something you need to do it part-time or sometimes, or you have to really commit in order to change your life, to be there,
have to.
all right? And you cannot really have therapy and have only a few sessions. You need to be there full on, okay, and do whatever it takes in order to feel better. You need to commit into your self-development to release your trauma, because there are going to be times where you're going to be feeling really, really bad, and these are the times that many people are, stop, or actually they stop when they start feeling better. But this is a process, okay? This is a lifelong process. It doesn't stop.
Oh.
Um, yeah.
I'll put it to you this way, guys.
Yes.
You can't do 5 years worth of pain and trauma within 1 week, bro. Okay, that's
Exactly.
what Vivi. All right, am I right? That's what you're referring to, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what people think. Like, all right, one session of EFT or one session of therapy, and I'll be fixed. And that's not how it works, bro. It's just not
Hmm.
how it works. You think about it this way: you form a habit in 21 days, right?
Hmm.
So 5 years, you're trying to undo 21 days worth of 5 years of habits, bro.
Yeah.
you, you get me? Like that's a lot of 21 days, dude. A lot. Um, And just real quick, maybe this is something that it takes. Again, you know, right? You're learning about it. It's 5 minutes to learn in a lifetime to fucking master, bro. You have to keep that in mind, man.
Exactly, exactly. And about the time that we're talking, when I started doing EFT, I was offering sessions like one session or two sessions. I don't think it's work like that anymore because I have changed the style and the way doing my therapy now.
Hmm.
I feel like people need the time, like not in, need the time in order to open up and actually to feel comfortable about processing their emotions, recognizing their emotions, and feel comfortable to express them. All right. So now, for example, what I've changed, I've been doing lately is that I prefer to have clients, for example, for 2 or 3 months. It's a lot better because with EFT you get to know how EFT works. You learn how to tap, how you learn the sequence, but it's not enough. You need to understand all the different techniques in order to work on your traumas or whatever. So you need time. This is a lifelong process, and you need to be patient with yourself. But I think the most important thing that we need to stress here is that face your traumas, face your traumatic experiences, face your painful emotions. All right? This is where healing starts and ends.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I loved it as well. Yeah, that was
Wow.
nice.
And you know what, guys? To take it to another step, why don't you
Mhm.
make that pain, that trauma, your fucking purpose, bro? Why don't you teach others how to get over that? Why don't you teach others through the experiences that you've gone through to help them heal, just like you use them to help you heal? You know what I mean,
Mhm.
bro?
Yes, absolutely. I'm the bro. I'm
The-
yeah, yeah. And this is when it becomes a purpose because I remember myself when I started working on myself. I've been doing that since 2002, not professionally, but this is something I've started doing, working on myself. It took me a few years, and then I've started become a
That's how it
therapist.
goes,
Yeah, I
bro.
became a therapist. Sorry, and so I forgot what I wanted to say, but I'll keep talking because
You said it took
I
you
want to say something else. But
a lot of years to become a therapist, right? You started
no, that
processing
was
by
not the
yourself
purpose. That was an answer to what you said. What did you say? You said something. Why did I say
about
that?
making your pain your purpose.
Yes, right. And this is a very good thing. Sometimes you have a trauma that doesn't leave you, it stays with you, all right? Because this is something, this is the motivation, all right? So I didn't know that I was suffering from complex PTSD in my life. I had the symptoms, but I couldn't tell. And I was visiting different therapists, not for a long time, but no one was giving me the right diagnosis. This is something I have, overcome many years ago, by the way. But what happened was that it became my purpose. I wanted to become. I was so obsessed. I wanted to find answers. Why? Why I have these symptoms? What do they mean? You know, and then I got the decision to become a therapist,
Hmm.
because that was my motivation. Sometimes you have something because it serves you in some way. It doesn't make sense at the beginning, but then you get the idea why you
Baby,
want to
well
help other
said,
people.
bro. Well said. Behind every adversity, there is a greater or equal opportunity, bro. Every.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's up to you to find that out, though, man. You know?
Yeah. And you know, I'm talking about sometimes now we're talking about trauma, and I always call them core issues. We all have a core issue. That was
Yeah.
a B, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It missed you. It missed you.
Whoa.
Um, so we have a core issue that follow us in all our lives, everywhere we go. All right, and that serves. It has a purpose,
Certainly
because
so.
once you understand why you have this, and when you release it, then it becomes your purpose. You want to teach other people, and you want to help other people release it as well.
That's right.
Oh, say
The
nothing
Dunk
but facts.
JS. Love, bro. Nothing but love on this side. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. Like I got to this day, like I have a very bad past. Again, bad past with my partner, my old business partner, guys. And to this day, when I'm working out or when I'm about to do something that's challenging, I think back in all those moments where I felt broken, where I got into arguments with this guy, where it was just dark, dark moments, bro. And it fuels the shit out of me, dude. Like sometimes it's crazy, bro, but I just see red. I see fucking red, and I'm game on, flame on, let's go, dude. And those experiences, like I process, I've been able to process them already, but I know how to use them for them to serve me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good anger, if that makes sense. It's good inspiration because it drives me to do my best in whatever I'm doing, bro.
And imagine when you share your story, all right, there are going to be many, many people who may have had similar experiences. And when you share your story, is a way for them to understand and, hear you and feel like they're not the only ones who are going through something similar. I mean, when I was going through all these tough phases in my life, all those emotions, I was on the internet looking for similar stories or similar experiences, because we are not talking here about science. We are not talking here about results or, I don't know, surveys or whatever. We're talking about actual experiences of, actual people, human beings,
Yeah.
who have had painful experiences. They have managed to release all those emotions. So it's not only our experiences. It's not only our ideas and knowledge that is talking now, but it's also our experiences.
Very much so, bro. Very much so.
Good. Well done, Grace.
As a regular practitioner and massage therapist, I've studied some ways to release trauma. Awesome, buddy.
There's so many ways. There's so many ways.
Yeah.
Reiki is a very, very good, and massage. I remember, do you know what happened with massage? I had this experience. One of the things that I was, because of my complex PTSD, one of the things that I think was coping mechanism or a result of those painful emotions, it was dissociation. And there were parts of my body that I couldn't feel at all. And I have had massage with someone, and then I've realized, oh my God, there are other parts of my body that I don't really feel at all. I don't even know they're there. You know that expression, the funny expression when you go to the gym and you say, then you are in pain, and you say, I'm making places. I forgot I had places.
Okay. Yeah.
It's something very similar, because of my emotional trauma. I'm making places that I didn't know because of this dissociation. And yes, exactly, Grace. Oh, I missed that one. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading the messages at the same time. Yeah, acupuncture as well. This is great. Started some ways to release trauma. Yeah, I read this one. We don't even.
Oh, yeah.
It says, Chris says, our bodies store trauma. We don't even release it, even from childhood and past lives. Do you think, Chris, we do release it or we don't?
Let us know, bro. And
Yeah.
key words in there, over 10 years, Jen. Time,
Yeah.
bro. Time. The more you put into anything, the longer the duration, the more you're going to get out of it, bro.
Mm-hmm. Guys, by the way, it's extremely hot in here. You can see I'm sweating. Sorry for that. We don't realize it. Okay, Chris. Okay.
Very true,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah, we don't realize it. Yeah,
Dude,
sometimes sorry, go on.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead,
No,
bro.
I just wanted to say that sometimes when I'm doing EFT with clients, I have noticed that we go into past lives. And the question is that, do you feel this emotion? Is it coming from this life or a past life? And my clients are able to say it's not coming from this present life, it's coming from a past life. So you can you can connect with a past life trauma. It is possible. There's so many modalities out there. Even with talking therapy. Yeah, it is possible.
There you go, Chris. And it's till this day, I can't believe, again, just working with Vivi and working with Eleanor, that I've released trauma again from childhood that I didn't even know was there, bro. Like I would put myself in situations, and not until again I got help from Vivi and Eleanor that I started to connect the fucking dots of everything that started happening, of why I was feeling the way I was with certain situations, and it all was stemmed back to childhood. So I released it, right? I released it. I faced it, and now it's like I don't have that tense or anger like emotion there anymore, because I was able to go deep into, right, the root of my childhood pain, my childhood trauma, and I was able to let it go because of that, bro. So yes, I 100% agree with you, Chris.
Yeah. It's not easy, but
No,
it can happen. The moment you take that decision to
yeah,
go deep.
and we always go deep, bro.
Yeah. Guys,
Always.
anything else? Anything you wanna ask? Uh, just
Any
let it out.
questions? Anything you would like to
Any
share with us,
questions?
man? Just let it out, bro. Aaron talks a lot about his videos, recognizing the past childhood patterns, and it takes much work. Very much, bro. Oh
Mm,
yeah, and especially if, again, you don't know what you don't know, right? So you don't know that there's ways to release it. You don't know that there's several techniques that people use, like EFT, like hypnotherapy, that can help you release the trauma. You don't know what you don't know, bro. But once you start setting out the intention and saying, you know what, I want to release this trauma. Show me, universe. How can I release this trauma? Just by
yes.
asking that, bro. Like the right people start coming into your life, the right
Mm-hmm.
situations start coming into your life when you set that intention, right? And you stop living in that past. Those are like Aaron said, those stories that you create for yourself, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. But yeah, dude, if you don't get help, like again, and if you can figure out a way to help yourself, awesome, bro. Because there are some very gifted people out there. But for me, again, um, and I think Viva, you can relate too. Like we needed to go to others for help to really help us dive deep, man. Um, but again, or you're gonna be stuck with that trauma the rest of your life if you don't release it, unfortunately.
Yes. I
So
agree.
yeah, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a painful process. I'm not saying it's easy because it's not. Because imagine if you're trying to avoid something all your life and you have so many coping mechanisms, and now you're in this position where you say, enough is enough. I cannot really go on like that. I need to do something about it. And and sometimes just the decision to start, working on it is enough sometimes,
it is.
you
No,
know.
and it is, Vivi. Success
Hmm.
is a decision away, bro. Once you really decide this is what it's gonna be, you're gonna figure it out. You start
Hmm.
to see everything start to work in your favor, bro.
And the other thing which is important is that find the technique that works for you, the modality, something that works for you, okay, and stick with it for a while. And because you will be able to go deep with that technique, and you will be able to release as much as you can.
Yep.
All right. Following that incident. Yes, absolutely agree, Chris. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. There's so many.
Um, yeah, go on.
No, just there's so many messages and words, bro. Even like morning. Like people say good morning. I always say good rising because what are you mourning about, bro? You know, like
Yeah.
morning. Just think about that, Chris. Like maybe there's so many hidden messages in the words, and you're casting spells, good or bad, on a daily basis, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
like that, right? I like the definition of health, Chris. I love that, buddy.
What is health? The ability
Oh,
to perceive and feel unconditional love. I like
that's right,
that.
bro.
I like that. I love that.
It's love, man.
Right. Guys, anything else? Anything else you want to ask? Any questions? Something we haven't mentioned?
Yeah, bro.
Something that.
Anything.
Toot, toot.
Also, Vivi, guys, I did want to mention one thing. So right now, I am looking for 5 people to coach for free,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, I want to help. I want to. I want all I'm asking in return is a testimonial, bro. That's really it. I
Mm-hmm.
want to help level you up. I want to work with you, and we will not end the session until we get to the root of the fucking problem, and that's my
Yes.
promise, bro. Until again, and I'm gonna be doing 3 sessions, right? We'll be doing
Mm-hmm.
3 sessions, um, once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and again, whatever you need help with, I'm gonna do it for free. I'm gonna coach you, bro. I'm gonna show you everything and anything I can to help you with whatever you're going through, bro. So if
Oh,
anybody's
it's good.
interested, message me, hit me up with a DM, and we'll talk, bro. I got you. And I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. If anybody's interested, man.
Good. They will, my friend. And one more thing from me, I just want to say I'm a EFT practitioner. Apart from that, I have my background is in psychology, but I think I managed to combine both spirituality and science.
I love your
So
technique, bro. Yeah.
yeah, this is what I do. So whoever wants to connect with me, you can always go to my website, which is www.vivimark.com, and you can find all the details there. And yep, that's it. Thank you very, very, very much, guys, for being with us. All of you. Yes, Chris.
Oh,
Yes,
Chris, thank you,
Chris heard.
buddy.
Yeah, listen to your audiobook. Yes, it is amazing. It's awesome. We have to say that. It's awesome. Well done, Roy. That
Thank
was
you, bro.
amazing.
Thank you,
All
guys. So
right,
happy you liked it, man. Yeah, and if you, again, it's free. The audiobook is free, bro. I'll gladly send it to you if you want to listen to it, bro. um,
perfect.
but love to you all, man. So much love.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Lots of love. Have a lovely, lovely evening
All right, my
and
friends.
day or whatever you have, whatever
Yes,
time zone you are.
whichever time zone, bro.
All right, okay.
I'll have the replay up on my IGTV. So if you guys want to catch the replay, man, you're more than welcome to, bro.
And I'm gonna have it on my IGTV,
Yes.
and more likely we're gonna, post it on YouTube. I'm gonna upload it there.
Bang, bang.
Yeah,
There we
chances
go.
are. Yeah. All right, guys. Lots of love. Thank you very, very much for
Love, my
being with
friends.
us. Okay. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Till next time.